Hey guys, we're back again with another one of Bandai's Petitres figures. This time we're going to be looking at Nero from the Ishtar summer event. Let's open her on up and take a look. So we'll begin with the flesh parts, comprising majority of her arms, legs, and torso. Overall, the sculpting level is very high. Very pressed, especially with things such as the straps on her shoes are even sculpted in. Now, granted, they're flesh colored, so you will have to go back in and either use the supplied stickers, which I don't recommend, or painting them yourself, which I do. Also, one thing I did notice that was a little surprising, while they do give you the ability with how they design the arms for positionability, they did not do that with the legs. So that is a little disappointing, but it's not something I'm going to complain too much about. Again, much like the other Petitres figures, faces done in this manner, with the eyes and eyebrows separate. Moving on, we're only going to look at this sprue as this is a duplicate, a part of it, or all of the gold-colored parts. Unfortunately, the gold they chose to use, at least to my eye, is really not the best. It's sort of a fakey, powdery type of gold. If you really want to get most out of these parts, I would say your best bet is to obviously paint them. Now, as far as Sprue's parts are concerned, we do have the sort of shoulder type parts, as well as her weapon, pipe organ, cannon parts. Again, the detailing on them themselves is good. I have no complaints there. It's just mainly the gold that they use to color it is pretty bad. Moving on, the kit does come with a nice little ocean base, so that will definitely add to the appeal. Her fairly substantial hair parts, and why the overall design and assembly of them is simple, just the size of it and the complexity of it, not the complexity, excuse me, the size of it is a little bit intimidating. Now, interestingly, they did not mold her sword as multicolor part type assembly. They did a single color, and even in the instructions, they say you're going to need to paint it, because they actually, in what I find a very surprising move, did not include any type of stickers to do the black parts on the sword. So, yeah, that is definitely a bit of a surprise. Moving on to her bikini. Not a whole lot I can say other than, it's typical Bandai quality. Only issue I found was here on the bows. You may want to fill the back areas in. Some of that will be visible. So let's take a look at the stickers now, which, again, as I have said numerous times with some of these kits, Bandai's stickers suck. They're not good. Don't use them if you can avoid it. Now, going into the assembly instructions. Overall, if you've built any Bandai kits, a lot of this should seem familiar to you. Obviously, the one area I would say you might encounter some issues is building up her torso, just because there's a couple little oddities there. But beyond that, it's a pretty basic and simple kit. Interesting, they kept the paint key here on the colored side of the instructions as opposed to the end, which is a little interesting. Beyond that, obviously, once you build up her torso, everything sort of starts falling together before building up her cannon parts and attaching those to their own little stands. So, overall, this is definitely an interesting little figure. Now, in comparison to the other ones we've looked at, it has a lot more skin. So I would say if you're going to get any of the ones we've looked at thus far, this would probably be the last one to get, just in terms of the complexity of doing skin tones. But at the same time, I would definitely still say get it, if for no reason that it does give you a great base to work on doing skin tones. So I would say this is definitely one you want to use as a learning kit. You don't want to, unless of course obviously you're a big Nero fan, then yeah, obviously you're going to want to grab it regardless. But that was a look at Bandai's Nero caster in their Petitres line. A good kit that you can definitely use as a learning base for skin tones. So until next time.